Welcome to the Key to Growth podcast, Home Services Marketing Unlocked, with me, your host, Jen McKee. Every week, I sit down with top marketers in the trades, from the brains behind $100 million companies to those scaling from 1 to 3, even to 10 million, breaking down exactly how they got where they are and uncover the secret to their success. If you're ready to grow your business and get real, actionable insights, you are in the right place. Let's unlock the key to your marketing success starting now.
Welcome back to the Key to Growth podcast. I am your host, Jen McKee, and today we have Tim Brown Hook. Kind of just depends on how you know him and where you follow him from. I feel like he has the same amount of followers on both, but the CEO of Hook Agency and also just really great at social media content. So I'm super excited about this conversation. But Tim, why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure. Tim Brown, CEO of Hook Agency, founder. It's a 33-person marketing agency that focuses on Google stuff, and we're out of Minneapolis. And alias Tim Hook because I wanted people to remember my name as I went into the HVAC and plumbing space. And traditionally we've done a lot of roofing, so we're have 90 roofing clients, and just learned a lot. Like I've been that social media guy before. I used to do it. I used to do video. I was the video guy for 3 contractors at one point.
Totally makes sense.
I learned a lot of stuff, and I got out in the field, I think, more than some video people. So that's kind of been our strategy now to go to market, because it was very persuasive when people are seeing me up on a roof or doing real stuff. And even though I'm not a video guy for them now, I still take pride going back and looking at their YouTube from when I was their video guy and seeing 50,000 views on a video or things like that. And it's fun. And I take a lot of pride in the things I learned in that period of my life.
That's so cool. So, okay. And also it's funny because Tim Hook, everybody that works for you also has that last name. So I don't even know who's your family, who's actually related to you.
No one with the last name Hook on Facebook's actual last name is Hook. What we realized is some of these folks, when they're young, we have people working for us 23 and 25 and stuff. Some of them don't have Facebooks at all.
Yeah, right.
So as we're asking them to get on Facebook in some cases for the first time, and we're like, might as well just make your last name Hook. Then we'll all kind of be promoting essentially as we're interacting with people.
So funny. And also great insight to everyone about who's on Facebook as far as audience goes, because even though I run a social media company, all of my team does social media. Some of them don't have active Facebook accounts either and had to make them because we manage Facebook. So I completely get that. Just that age group around 23, 25, that's not an important platform for them.
And originally, this is kind of a funny fact, is when I first started to do some more Facebook for social for my company, the first place I went was LinkedIn.
There's no one there.
I was pretty good at LinkedIn, but no contractors, no home service business people are there.
Yeah.
And I mean, LinkedIn kind of sucks if I'm honest with you, but
I don't.
Anyways, we can go into that later. It's just so formal, and people it's a little stuffy sometimes.
I use the word pretentious for LinkedIn, and also no one really wants to be my friend. They're just trying to every person that adds me is help agencies grow to whatever, and I'm you don't even care about me. You just see me as an agency.
Exactly. So I realized at a certain point, mainly a competitor that I saw, or I was actually a coach in the space, but I thought of him as a competitor at the time. He was doing it really, really well, Facebook. And he was just putting it out, connecting with a bunch of contractors, putting out a bunch of value on there, and then it worked. So anyways, our marketing got better because I was paying attention to what he was doing. His name is Joseph Hughes. His company is Contractor Dynamics. People don't know him in HVAC and plumbing, but I did see him do some content with Joe Casera the other day. So I kind of wish he would come over sometimes, but we got great coaches over here, great marketing coaches, and great folks anyways in HVAC and plumbing, which I'm starting to feel is my native land. People better watch out. I'm getting comfortable here. I'm going to stop saying I'm new soon.
We are not fighting on this podcast. I mean, not with me, but okay. So let's actually start at the beginning. And how did you even get into roofing marketing? We know that you got into HVAC and plumbing from roofing, but they're all similar in some ways. They have similar business models, but how did you get into roofing?
I like the high ticket aspect of roofing. I got a client just randomly. Somebody referred me, a former coworker told another contractor that they know that I did websites, and I did it on the side when I worked for my last agency. My agency owner knew about it. They allowed me to do that. I brought customers over there sometimes, but this one needed a website, and I did it for them. And then as time went on, people were asking me stuff beyond websites, hey, I want more customers. And I was like, you can't web design your way into more customers.
Yeah.
But I was learning about SEO from working at that agency, and then they let me do marketing for the agency, and I was actually like increasing their leads for the agency. And so I started to be like, I could do this stuff that I've been learning over here. If you need that, which I'm still getting, I was like super honest with that client at the time, the first one that I ever sold anything to recurring wise. And I was like, I could try SEO for you, I guess.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, do it, dude. I trust you. Cause he was like, I did a good job at the other stuff that I did for him. And the rest is history. I just, I kind of got a few more clients from there. And then the contractors just seem to outweigh the other clients. Like home service businesses need this. And local SEO is actually easier than like national SEO in certain ways, right? Like we don't, compared to the other stuff I was doing SEO for, which was like sales software.
Less competitors.
That was, there's like, you get the ability to focus on one area. And so, that was kind of how it happened. And then I had a business coach that said, you have to niche. And I said, this is where I have the most customers. It's a little bit more convoluted than that, a lot of steps and angles and different things. But that is essentially the bare bones idea of what happened. Is a business coach told me to do it. And that's where I had the most customers.
So you do a lot of video content. And I mean, the video content is definitely for you, but it also benefits contractors as well. I mean, I know you said like you were doing video content for people. Like, how did that play into it? Almost seems like a passion project for you now, besides like marketing for your own company. But talk a little bit about the video content that you do.
Yeah, I think, we're trying to benefit home service businesses in any way we can, right? Which is like generally services. We're providing Google, SEO, PPC websites, and LSA and maps. But beyond the services that we're doing, it's mainly just driven by like people saying like you should have a why, and you should like it's mission driven. So it starts with we want to get the word out about our services, but then it kind of gets into what is like a worthwhile reason for this agency to exist beyond just like doing some Google stuff that who knows might be outdated in 10, 20 years. Who knows? Yeah. And that mission is around like elevating and essentially like championing home services. I got it on my wrist. That's what I was looking for.
I know. I'm like, you're looking for it somewhere.
Yeah. Championing and elevating home services, right? Like I've got it on my wrist and I've got my goals for my company on my wrist. I just had a guest on my podcast that said to do that and I liked it.
That's cool.
But I have it on my wrist, but I also I think it's kind of built into, especially the people that are close to me in the company that kind of see it and they're like, oh, this is what we're trying to do. So we're trying to help them. Certainly business is the main reason we started, but I do think, I always say, I've said this a lot in the past, but it's like, if you're making enough money, then you kind of want something more because the money is just a story, So it's good for marketing that we have a deeper purpose.
Yeah.
And then two, having a deeper purpose makes all this seem worthwhile when it's difficult because it's difficult running a business and have what it is. It's like there's client problems and there's team problems and it's so much emotional energy that there almost has to be a deeper purpose.
Yeah.
So that might be a long answer, but having a deeper purpose for the content and trying to make stuff that actually helps businesses, even if they don't work with us, and entertain, because I do think entertainment is valuable. Honestly, entertainment might be way more valuable than most of us think. Because I think like most people need a distraction and have fun and stuff like that. So that's all part of that purpose to help and entertain and level up home service businesses.
Yeah. I mean, I struggle in this conversation with you because selfishly, I want to talk about your social media presence, but that doesn't always benefit to people listening to this. I think we can
go into it and then I'm pretty good at applying those principles to home services.
Yeah. I mean, and obviously we do social media for home services, so I get it. But I do think that there's a lot of value in some of the tactics that you've used for yourself, which I'm sure you use for your clients too. Like a lot of your SEO for Hook Agency, I think that you move really quickly in like creating pages that rank really high on Google, even whenever you moved into HVAC. So and I'm thinking specifically of like the meme pages or like you have a blog post that's like best memes for HVAC or something like that. Is that a tactic that you utilize it for home service businesses too? Like, is there a way to do that? Like kind of these one-off searches that people are looking for?
Yeah, I think that, we are looking at top of funnel and bottom of funnel. Like, so if you think about memes, that's going to be pretty top of funnel. They don't know about us. They don't care about us, but they're looking for memes related to HVAC, right?
Right.
But it's way easier to rank for that type of stuff. So sometimes
no one's doing it. It's like
especially if you're new, your website's new, or you're new to a niche, or you're new to a city or something like that. If you do some of that top of funnel stuff, you can get local, like in my case, it's niche authority, but for you, it might be local authority.
Mhm.
People might roast me for this, but like, let's say you did the top breakfast spots in your city.
Right.
That's a super top of funnel thing. That's kind of like me doing the memes.
Yeah.
It's not going to
No,
give me any
I
customers.
completely agree with this tactic actually on social media.
It may not get me any customers, but what it does do is like, especially if it's city name best breakfast spots, it's like, at least it's the local people seeing it, which is like
Yeah.
half the time when we're on social media or we're getting traffic to our website, it's not people in the local area. So what I want to do is I want more local people to see my brand. So yes, it's top of funnel, but I think that's good and okay because it's way easier to rank for that than it is to rank for, best HVAC contractor in city. So point is we want, in my case, I want more niche related topics that my website ranks for. In your case, you want more city name blank, blank, blank blog posts. And it relates to your social media too. It's like, at least people are in the area and they're interested in that type of stuff. And you're kind of building audience. So I guess it kind of comes down to building audience.
Yeah.
Because we need to do more building of audience. And I think I'm sure you coach your clients on this and help them with this, but like a lot of people don't do any building of audience and they only do selling.
Mhm.
So you don't want it to be only building audience, but you got to mix them up, right?
Yeah.
Both. So every once in a while we're talking about the thing that we do and problems with hiring a cheap contractor, or 3 things that can go wrong, or all these like informational ones. And then sometimes we're talking about the fun, weird stuff going on in the city or different
Do you
types
do
of things in
that?
the
Have
city.
y'all done that in a vlog?
For our clients back in the day, when we did YouTube, I mean, when we would push on local terms.
For video, for sure. We do that on
Yeah.
like TikTok because it's
Yeah.
so much easier to get into that like
Algorithm,
geo area.
Yeah.
And like we do it really fun. So we'll,
Yeah.
like for Valentine's Day, like ask your team where the best place is to take a date in your city. And so then it's like best date spots in Milwaukee or whatever. It's funny. That's where y'all are. But one of our clients is there. And that was like one of them that actually did that. And then every year it ranks again. Like if you do something that's really specific to a date, like Valentine's Day or something, every year it gets pushed back into the algorithm, at least now on TikTok and probably YouTube too, which is great. So I love that. And I think that's kind of fun. And honestly, like, I mean, I could see why you said I'll be roasted for this because it feels like almost
feels like branding,
vanity.
right? And
it feels like vanity a little bit.
Yeah. I think what people see sometimes is like that you do that on a site or like on social or something like that. And they think that that's all that's there. But like at the end of the day, our clients will always hold us accountable for leads. And ours is like so pure leads. So if we don't have the leads, it doesn't matter how much traffic is there. We 500x somebody's traffic. If you don't get them more leads, it doesn't matter. So we already like have that. And like it's a constant pressure from our clients. We don't need anyone else. Like we know that's what we're there for. However, I believe by creating authority and audience, you're more likely to get these leads. Are you going to get, if I 500x the traffic with top of funnel stuff, am I going to get 500 more leads? No, I'm going to get percentage of that and I'm cool with that. So, and for us, just to kind of break back into like what I do with that is like, I'm trying to get people to see my brand more often. Like I believe in branding and like, I really think it matters. So I do everything I possibly can, including crazy stuff. Like I just had Mr. Fat Cheeto with us at AHR and he had a big, huge, bold hook on him. He was taking selfies all over the place and we got 8 million views or whatever, or it's like 7 or something in 1 week, 7 million views, which is nuts. But it's like, cause I believe in brand. Like I believe that if a bunch of people in HVAC see this logo over and over and over again and have some positive experience, even if it's just laughter for a second or seeing a new product for a second or whatever, then they're more likely to want, like you just have this association now. Oh, that's a cool company or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, and I'd almost rather them see it and even have a negative, like I'm weird. I'd almost like, I'm okay if they had a negative feeling. I don't care.
Well, it makes your customer acquisition costs go down.
Yeah.
So you don't have to like beg people to work with you. And it works the same with home service companies. And that's why branding is so important, because when it's sticky and people are looking for you, it's a lot easier to turn them into a customer than someone who's just looking for a solution to whatever their problem is.
Oh, I agree totally. And they don't always remember what they saw it for. So just if you did a funny video or you did like even a mistake video, like whatever it is that got the views in the first place, they've long forgotten why they saw your company and they just remember, oh, I just kind of know that company.
Yeah.
So that's the weird part about the human brain. It often forgets the origination, where we first saw it, but we remember, oh, I know those guys.
Yeah. Okay. So you told me about a framework that you created that you're in. I think frameworks are great because it makes it a lot easier for us to remember all of the things that we need to remember. So tell us about the HERO framework.
Yes. So the HERO framework for home service marketing is H, harness social proof. So reviews, testimonials, case studies, and then E, engage the community. So like doing charity and local partnerships and things like that. And then R, refine your messaging. So keeping it consistent, mirroring customer language. So like finding out what they actually like about you and talking about it more often. Let's say even just looking at Google reviews. And then O, optimizing for visibility. So obviously we need to get better about getting the click, getting the view, et cetera, and doubling down on what's working. Because I think that that's something people aren't listening to what is working or seeing what's working and just doing more of it. So that's it. Harness social proof, engage the community, refine your messaging, and optimize for visibility. And I think about this framework, you'll be able to more quickly get traction from marketing. Because I think the only reason people aren't excited about marketing is because they're not always getting traction. You know, it's less fun when we only get 20 views, right? Or whatever. It's a lot more fun when we start to get better at it. So the more you can kind of double down on what's working, that's where it gets really, really fun.
Yeah, I agree. I would love to like get into each of these individually. So for harness social proof, how can businesses go beyond just collecting reviews to actually using them effectively in their marketing?
Yeah, I think taking what people just leave as Google reviews, you should post those on social media. Like that's at least doing that. That is like the bare minimum. Next, pointing a phone at their face and asking them how they felt about you is a great thing. The absolute ideal is case studies, or another way to do kind of like testimonials would be you have a professional videographer come in and have them point the camera at them and then ask off to the side, like, really, no, what was your experience, right? Like making it feel more authentic and less like forced. So that's a beautiful thing. I just think it's like get more about what they're saying about you out there. Another way to use reviews is like take the best reviews, like the best sentence from a review, and make it a headline on your website.
Yeah.
Or embed the videos that you're doing right on the front page. Like we don't need it. My opinion, maybe it's a hot take, I don't know. We don't need to go to a reviews page. I mean, I'm not saying don't have one, but you should have the reviews all over the website as part of like, my thing is like, that should be like right away. Like if you have great reviews, which a lot of you do, just put them like within a couple scrolls on the homepage, like, and I call them a trustimonial, which is a picture of the person's face smiling, the 5-star icon, where it was left. So if it's Google or Facebook, and then excerpt of it. We don't need to see the 500 words that they said, but let's take the best part of it. But I also like making it feel kind of like a widget, right? Because you don't want to make it feel like I actually like it, make it feel like it's dynamic. So it feels like it's coming in from one of those widgets because you do less, it feels less curated that way. But I am kind of saying like take the shorter part that's really good about the review.
I like to do that too on social because like no one's going to read the whole thing, but if you can just like pull the best part out, it makes it so much better. Yeah. That's great. So, okay, engage the community. I think this is one that as marketers, we're like, y'all need to get out there more, but something you can think of like the best way that someone was engaging their local community, one of your clients or something that you've seen.
Yeah. I love just people volunteering, right? Like with your team, or just going to like the local home show and being loud about it, or doing something fun or charitable at an event. Anything where you're getting of the office and getting into a large group of people, really. Like it's can be selfish, but I also believe people can do charity publicly. And once again, hot take Tim over here, but like I don't think it's that crazy to think that if people are doing something charitable, that they can find a classy way, a subtle way to tell the story, maybe encourage other people to do it because you're inspiring other people. So if no other reason than to make your team feel good because you're sharing their story of doing it, make it a secondhand thing. How about you go and don't even say anything about yourself? Go and show your team volunteering. Obviously, you as an owner or whoever in leadership, obviously you're giving up a lot. You're like 50 billable hours right now that they're spending at the local food shelf or whatever.
Yeah.
But don't show yourself. Just show the team and say, I'm really proud of my team today for doing this. Like it's okay. The reason I believe it's okay is because I believe you're inspiring other people.
I agree.
And I think it's almost like selfish not to like give these charities a little bit more promotion. They don't have big marketing budgets. Yeah.
I feel like you've listened to my podcast. I'm just kidding. But I've said that multiple times because I
Yeah.
agree. I think people struggle to, and even like people in groups will be like, oh, you shouldn't post about it. And I'm like, actually you should, because not only like you're giving visibility to this organization that if you hadn't have posted about it. And so I think when you don't, like, you're doing them a disservice. There's so much value in sharing all the things that you do. And especially when you're supporting a local charity, no matter what it is or how small or big that it is or how much you're giving back, like just that visibility can be so impactful.
Exactly.
So
I hope somebody feels a little bit more comfortable doing that. Do it in a classy way. Champion your people. Compliment your people.
I love
You don't
that.
have
That's
to-
a great idea. A good way to do it if you really feel uncomfortable about it. But no matter
Yes.
what, you'll miss out if you don't.
Yeah.
Okay. So R is refine your messaging. And I think that's something a lot of businesses struggle with. So what are some of the biggest mistakes that you've seen people make, and how do you help your customers refine that messaging?
Yeah, I think the main thing is that we talk about so many benefits to working with our company that people can't remember any of them. They don't know why you're better than other people. It's everyone struggles with this. So you're not like crazy for this being tough.
Yeah.
Because we like the next week we're like, no, I think it's because we're family friendly. And then the next week we're like, no, it's actually because we do same day service. Or, and the next week we're like promoting something else.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with that is people just don't remember unless you repeat it all the time. We know this from being business owners and trying to repeat things to our employees, and they can't get it. Like, it's tough to get it stuck in their head, right?
Yeah. We're your kids.
Yeah, exactly. So you kind of got to treat the market like your kids.
Yeah.
A little bit. And like, I got to say this over and over and over again. I'm like,
for years.
come here, kid. But you
For
got to
years.
be super consistent. And then maybe almost like branding your differentiating features. What's different, but how can we say it in a way that sticks in people's minds?
Yeah.
So if I can find like, let's say I'm prompt. How can I say prompt in a really sticky way that stays in people's brains? Maybe it's kind of like it's related to my brand. Like, and I'm not going to give you what it is at this exact moment.
Well, I think about what Hook Agency does, because y'all are like a hook. So what do you say?
Yeah.
Something about hooking leads or something? There's something
Hook
that you
better
say
leads.
about
Yeah.
that.
Hook better leads. That's our jingle. We also do an annoying version of it that's kind of like intended to be annoying, so it sticks in your mind. Because if you ever like watch like Bravo, they'll be like Bravo, and it always sticks in my mind because it's annoying.
Yeah, but look, that was sticky.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and making it short and sweet, and then saying it over and over again. So come up with, my thing is like, and we do some of this as part of like website design projects. We try to come up with those 3 differentiating features, and then you can take those wherever on your marketing. I'm sure you have things like that too, where you're trying to like come up with their specific, what makes them special. And then you just keep on saying it over and over and over again. And then the other thing you can do to refine your messaging and keep it going is do series based on that differentiating feature. So you could do like Fast Fridays or whatever it was. If you decided, like fast service was a big piece of it, it's like you could do a joke every Friday about like getting there fast. Like think about Freaky Fast, how much that gets stuck in our mind from Jimmy John's.
Yeah.
Like if it's directly related to something people already love about you, that's the main key, is like, look at your reviews, figure out what they already love about you, and then mirror that back to them in a branded differentiating feature. Because then every time a sandwich gets to me in 12 minutes, I'm like, oh God, that's Freaky Fast, baby. Like I'm saying their tagline because I experienced what's true. It's funny, but it's true about their service.
Right.
So make sure it's true. Like that's underrated about marketing. Make sure it's true. Like look at your reviews and like try to pay attention to what customers are really saying. That's the refining your messaging based on what they're actually saying.
I think that was such a good insight of how to do that. I love that. I'm going to take it. I'm stealing it for me.
Please,
but I love going back to your reviews, because as home service companies, you're already focused on getting reviews. You already see what your customers are saying about you. So I love that idea of mirroring it back. I think that sometimes we make things too hard, like try to figure all this out. And the answer is literally right in front of you. You don't have to figure it out. It's already there.
Yep.
And then we can put it in our robot and ask it to come up with a tagline based on what everyone says about me.
By the way, you can do that with ChatGPT to to.
That's the robot.
I appreciate you calling it robot because we hear ChatGPT too much nowadays. There's a pretty cool, I think I still have it, review-based marketing ChatGPT robot that allows you to export. So you export all your reviews. There's like a Google Reviews exporter. Just Google that, and then it'll grab your last 100 reviews, and then you can paste them or paste the spreadsheet rather,
right, and
into the thing, and it will spit out the 3 most common, like kind of differentiating
like one of those
features.
word things. Those are cool, like how they make the little word thing. But yeah.
So if you just go to hookagency.com/reviewgpt, it will do this for you.
Oh, that's cool.
So, but it's basically the same principle of you just scanning your stuff, right?
Yeah.
You can scan down your reviews and look for patterns and like just
I
write
love
them
any
up.
excuse to use ChatGPT, honestly.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I like sit here and I'm like, what do I need?
Yeah.
What can I go ask it?
Yeah, it's fun. No, it's fun. So if you need an excuse today, use hookagency.com/reviewgpt and then just use that Google Reviews exporter and then upload it as a file, and it will spit out 3 unique sales propositions, unique value propositions based on your Google reviews.
And then take that and ask ChatGPT to create a tagline about you based on all of the things that people have said about you. And then you can use that in your marketing.
Oh, that sounds so fun.
Done. Y'all don't even need me or Tim. Now you can do it yourself.
Yeah. The best part, this is the way I like robot these days, is like quant plus algorithm. So in financial analyst positions and investing.
Any analyzing.
Yeah. They talk about, they have a quant, right? Like it's a guy who runs the robot.
Okay.
But he also reads the robot. So it's like, but that's the way I look at it now. So I'm trying to get my team to really like always have their own robots, you know what I mean? Like pushing more people to have their own GPTs and like think of themselves as the quant running it.
Exactly.
So,
that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
Otherwise we'll be behind. You got it.
But it's also not, but like the best part about that is like, it's got to have a quant, you know what I mean? Like
for sure.
You're not getting cut out of the thing. You're being more efficient. I know I'm not saying anything super original, but I like that quant plus algorithm idea. I think it's helpful for people to understand, like, I don't want to be the guy running that particular robot. And the other robot tip I have, as we're talking about robots, is that keeping it tight for what you're asking it to do. So for instance, like I'm guessing you guys use like Photoshop and stuff. Like there's a generative feature, and I don't know if this is on Canva too, but like you can like circle something and then you can say, I want like make something here, and you can be like,
that's on Canva too.
Make this sun into a moon or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And it will make it. But at least the one I use is if I make it too big of a thing, it's bad. Like it's not very good. But if I circle a little area, I make it, and then I circle another area and I make it, it's better. So the idea of like using robot for smaller areas and smaller tasks and things, and not trying to make it do your whole job for you, but like getting tighter robots with key context for that problem so that it's more effective. Because we've all been on ChatGPT one day and been like, screw this thing. It doesn't work. It's not doing a good job for me. But it's like, once we get better at asking the questions.
Or giving it better information. I really love it for analyzing things right now. That's one of my favorite things, especially like if I have any meeting and download the transcript and put it in there and then pull out what I need, like pull out a checklist, pull out a great follow-up email, pull out what this person needs to know about it. How did I do in this meeting? How could I have been more efficient? Like even I did a presentation at AHR and I'm going to redo it this week. And I'm like, man, I wish I had it recorded so I could ask ChatGPT like what I could have done better, where I lost people, where the energy was down, and like how I could improve upon it. So I'm excited it'll be recorded this time so I can do that. And I think that that's like a huge key. Even like putting my P&L in there, like what percentage did I spend on this? Like how, like there's just so many analyzation for optimization that we could use it for right now, besides the like creative stuff.
I use it like both, but my favorite is that right now is like my P&L and my 90 export, which is like all of our like goals and stuff like that. So then it has all that. And then I just make a big, huge document that's in context, like type out everything about my business and then try to give it my priorities too. So when it's talking to me, when my robot is talking to me, it's like reflecting back to me the priorities that I want. It's
mine too. But sometimes I'm just like, tell me something I don't know. And started, now it just tells me the same thing all the time. I'm like, you need to know more.
Well,
I need to upload my most recent conversations.
Oh, that's the thing. It's like literally, it's like every 3 months you have to make one of these if you're going to do it that way. Because it's like mine still thinks my revenue is 2023 threes revenue. No, just kidding. But you know what I'm saying? Like it gets out of
Things
dated quick.
changed
So
yesterday.
yeah.
You haven't caught up.
It'd be a big deal when like it can like live get context.
I know. I'm like, go
you and
read
I are
my
both like in love
Facebook.
with
Like, have you
ChatGPT.
been on my phone calls? Come on. I
Yeah,
need you to
come
be here
on.
more. The Meta
Well,
glasses will help with that. It'll just track everything.
This is gonna be creepy for people that aren't like into this stuff, but like
Yeah.
I'm getting the pendant, the
Oh,
limitless
yeah.
pendant, which essentially is like it's always recording.
Right. No,
So
I
like,
mean,
I'm
I
kinda,
feel like I need that
yeah,
now because when
yeah.
something's not recorded, I feel really like, oh, I wish I had this conversation so that I could pull the notes out of it. Really, it's
Yeah.
like the big thing, like, dang it, what did I say I was going to do? Like, I love it for that.
So I'm sure this is going to be very unusual the first while. You can set it so that you have to ask for somebody else's consent.
Yeah.
For like, because it can distinguish between your voice and somebody else's. So you
Mhm.
can set it to like that. I'm just gonna have it like going because
Yeah.
I have a terrible memory. I can't even tell you how helpful all this stuff is for a guy who has a terrible memory. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm glad I live in this era.
I know. It is. It's amazing. Okay, so we have one more and then I have our last question. So, the last one in Hero is O, which is optimized for visibility, which I feel like is everything, right? But what is like one thing that a home service company should be doing to improve their visibility online?
Yeah, just looking at your analytics, looking at your numbers more often, right? We create, we publish, and then we look at the numbers.
Yeah.
And then we look at what worked, and then we double down on what worked. So as long as you're looking at the numbers and trying to double down on what works, you're always going to get better. And there's no failures. The only failure, I was going to say something cheesy there, but I'm going to the only failure is like that you spent 8 hours on something and it got very few views. Like part of me, like if they don't have Jen to do social media, like make sure you're spending the right amount of time per thing.
Yeah,
Right?
seriously. Don't get
Like
caught up spending
don't
like
spend 4
hours on
hours.
something.
Yeah, that's not what it is. Like I'm
No.
spending 30 minutes on stuff or like max a
Exactly.
couple hours on something.
Even a couple hours, like what if nobody sees it? It could
The
be
ROI, dude, it's
like
not there. So get better about doing stuff quickly. That's where you'll be able to sustain it. Because
Yeah.
if you learn CapCut or whatever, you're on your phone, you get quicker, it'll be better. Or just pay somebody like Jen because your time is more valuable than that selling and leading people than it is doing social media that you barely know about.
For sure.
So doing a little bit of calculus real quick about the value of your time and then like spending the appropriate amount of time or paying somebody else who's an expert at it.
Absolutely.
And that's true for SEO too. Like I just talked to an amazing client that we had for 3 years. And the way he said it was, even having a marketing manager in our company, I know this person would have to spend 10,000 hours to get decent at SEO. And I don't have 10,000 hours for them to get better at it. And it's not easy to hire an expert in that unless we work through somebody like you guys
For sure.
who also knows the industry. So in that case, that's better than I could say it as far as like why somebody it would make sense to hire a Google specialized team like Hook Agency or one of the other amazing marketing agencies that are out there.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And obviously we own marketing agencies, so of course we agree with this, but we agree with it because we see it firsthand that a internal marketing person, their job shouldn't be to do the marketing. It should be to manage all of the vendors and do maybe internal marketing and community marketing. But a lot of these specializations are going to be a lot better off with vendors if you're at that level in your budget. 100%. Okay, so the last question here is you're on the Key to Growth podcast. So the question is, what is the key to growth? And it could be growth in marketing, growth in business, growth in life.
The key to growth is taking every setback as an opportunity that you could be better because this negative thing happened. If a negative thing happens to you, quickly try to shift your mind to how could I be grateful that this happened because the way I'm going to respond.
Yeah.
So I'm going to look back on this moment and be like, I'm actually so glad that happened because the way I responded ended up being better for me and my life and my team than it was before. And I think every single thing handled with that framework, it's hard to stop that person or company.
I love that. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. You shared so much great insight. And if people wanted to find you online, where should they look?
Check out hookagency.com or Hook Agency all over social media except for TikTok, Hook Agency MPLS.
There was already a Hook Agency on TikTok.
You know, it's funny. I created a Musical.ly back in the day and it was Hook Agency and then I got transferred over, but I didn't have the login to it. So there's like one weirdly sped up video on there of like when I thought that's what you're supposed to do. do. Like
Oh no.
from way back in the day, I was like, well, I have a YouTube video, but I can't fit it in a minute. You know what I'll
That's
do?
so
I'll speed it
funny.
up. We all start somewhere at this stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so Hook Agency and then also Tim Hook or Tim Brown on social media as well.
Yep. If you just go to facebook.com/Tim Hook Agency, you'll find me.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for being here today.
Yes, thank you.